Hello, welcome to the Caffeinated Cast-Ons YouTube channel. My name is Therese, also known as Caffeinated Cast-Ons. This is my YouTube channel where I share the knitting projects that I'm working on. I go through my opinions, yarn, needle size, modifications, basically just a digital video version of Ravelry project pages, and I talk it through and post it here on YouTube. So we're really relaxed over here and casual. This is episode 57, I think. I feel like I might do away with the episodes. I don't really like to call this a podcast, because to me it's not. I don't know. I feel like it's a weird thing. This is just my channel where I talk. I post a video each week. I don't want to call it a week in my life, week in my knitting life. I don't vlog. We're just sitting down and talking. I don't know what to call it, but whatever this is episode 57. It is Sunday, February 2nd. I need to write down my February knitting plans. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. It's way later in the day, actually pretty early evening. Been doing yard work all day today after church. So it's like the day's gone by super fast. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I've just got some cold brew here with some creamer. No finished objects, but I do have a new cast on to take you through, and then just of course WIPs that I've got going. I will leave my Ravelry project pages linked down below so you can reference them if you need to. What else? I didn't write any notes down before I started recording, just because I've only got so much time, so we're just gonna get into it. The first work in progress is going to be my Cumulus Blouse by Petite Knit. My goal last week was to get more than halfway through the body. I haven't measured, but I think I'm there. Let's see, I'm gonna hold it up. Look how good it is looking. Like, here's the V-neck. And where was I? Last week, I was here, and I've knit that much. I have joined a second skein. So I need to do a try on to see what the length is, so I can get a gauge on that. So yeah, Cumulus Blouse. I am knitting this on US size, I want to say 8. Correct, US size 8. And I am knitting it in Pearls and Postulates Escape Velocity. Look how, every time I see this, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like the dark purples, the maroons. I just love it so much. But this is a fingering weight yarn. This is their Harris sock base, which is a 75-25 blend of superwash merino, which is 75, and 25% nylon. I'm holding this just single. Typically, the Cumulus Blouse is knit with a lace weight held double, so like mohair, surrey, something fluffy like that. I wanted something lighter, so I am holding it single without swatching, and so far it's going well. I'm knitting the size large. I don't think I've said that in any past episodes where I'm talking about this project, but I am knitting the size large. And I think my 3 skeins should be enough. But I need to do a try on, see how much more I need to knit on the body. When I get close to the end of the body, I think I will put that on hold and then start the sleeves, I think. Still a little undecided on that. But still going really well. Now, I mean, it's just straight stockinette, so it's a great project to have when I'm watching TV, listening to a podcast or something like that. Good, we're at a good mindless spot, so I'm really enjoying that bit so far. I do have, no, hold on. I'm trying to organize my brain. last week I showed you the Afghan square that I did not like. I made a plan, I ripped it out, and I recast on, and I have some progress to show you. So this is a diagonal rib, and one of the other squares is this pattern. I wanted something simple to do for this last square, and I love it. So I knit this much last week. I didn't measure, but I'm probably halfway through already. So I need to keep knitting on that. It knits up super quickly since it is on a worsted or bulky. I want to say it's worsted weight yarn. So this should be plenty. I know it will be plenty. I've knit 11 other squares and have left over. Yeah, but that's for an Afghan. I don't have a project page for that because the pattern is not available on Ravelry. And I'm not going to share that because I don't know. Sidebar. There was like drama on Discord with people sharing Ravelry project patterns from, or not even just Ravelry. They were sharing patterns that they paid for with everyone else so others would get that pattern for free. That is theft. I'm not going to get really into it because I'm not on Discord. I haven't seen all of that stuff, but I'm not sharing that pattern because it is not, it was only available if you took the class. It's just an Afghan, but basically you just make it square by square. It's 12 squares seamed together, and you just pick a pattern. Pick a stitch pattern, make it that square, and then you seam them all together out of border, okay? But I'm not sharing the actual patterns, like the full pattern that I used, because that's just not right. That's somebody's work, and I want to respect that. I'm not supposed to share that. So that's the end of that sidebar and rant. Yeah, so there's no project page for that. I do have a new cast on, and this is, this is probably like one of my treasured bags, okay? Like I love a bag and I do want more project bags, but I have nowhere to store them. But this is in a bag by the Bay Bag Co., which she is no longer in the bag making business. She does sewing classes, I believe, which I want to learn to sew this year. So I might take her course. I need to look into that. But this is, I believe the material is like an earlier form of the canvas that she used. So it's not as structured, like it's holding its shape right now, but it's pretty like collapsible. And I just loved this color. It was like the only one that they had at Fiberfest this past year. And it's got pockets inside. And in here, I've got like another mini thing. This is from the Target dollar spot. Can you believe that? It's perfect for one skein. But I started a pair of socks. And it's just a vanilla sock. So vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady. And then I did 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. And I knit 30 rounds, just vanilla, just stockinette. And I think I'm gonna stop here on the leg and go ahead and start the heel. So not quite shorty socks, but maybe just like mid socks. I always try to change up the length on my socks just because I never know what kind of mood I'm gonna be in with socks. But this is knit on a US size 1, 9-inch circular. And what I did actually is I split the yarn in half into 2 cakes, just as close to even as possible, and I'm working them concurrently. So I did the cuff on sock 1, did the cuff on sock 2, did the leg on sock 1, now I'm doing the leg on sock 2. So I still have a bit to go on sock 2 for the leg. So this is about, well, like 50 grams minus whatever's in the sock already. It fits perfectly in this. I bought a couple of these from Target. I don't know if they're still there, but And then this yarn is a super old Yarnable, like from 3, maybe even 4 years ago, because it was before they started putting the year on the labels. But this is Laughs More, Worry Less on the plush sock base, which is an 85-15 superwash nylon blend. But I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago, I did subscribe to Yarnable, but I stopped either just because household budget cuts or I wasn't knitting it fast enough and I didn't want a stash at the time. Do I have a stash now? Yes. Is it big? No, not what I consider big, but it's a decent amount I'd like to get down and knit through. Maybe I'll make a video of that. But this is super old Yarnable, but I just love the color. And I'm just going to do vanilla socks with this. So that was my new cast on. I finally cast on a new project this past week. Reading. Oh, okay. I can't remember. I remember what I read. I just finished, what was it called? Things We Never Say by, oh my gosh, I can't remember the author, but it was super good. I gave it 5 stars. Very very like Big Little Lies vibes of a book, and I really liked it. And then I just started last night, like I'm only like maybe 10 pages in, of the Radium girls, which is the true story about like the element and like the women and like what they went through and like the medical stuff. I'm not 100% sure. Someone was talking about it at a knit night, and so I borrowed it from the library, and so I'm going through that. Like I said, I'm only like 10 pages in, so we'll see how it goes. But it sounds fascinating. Watching, so we finished Silo, and I'm already ready for the new season, which I don't think it's going to come out for a while. We just watched the first episode of the new season of Severance. I wish I would have watched the last episode of the previous season before we started it, because I can't remember like all the details. Like it did a good recap, but I still feel like, well, what was it about that they showed? But it was good. I'm very interested to see like what happens with all the characters. So watching Severance, I'm like halfway through the last season of Bones, and so I'm almost done watching Bones. What else? I think that's it. What else about life? So I think 2 episodes ago I talked about how Simple Joy was my sourdough starter, Celia. And I don't think I'm a fan of me making my own sourdough bread. I love sourdough, but I don't think the sourdough process is for me. I got the like she's established, she's great, she's healthy, but the actual baking process, especially because I'm trying to do it gluten-free, is not going well. I baked 2 loaves unsuccessfully, like very gummy. And so it's just a lot of effort and a lot of flour that you have to buy. I'd rather spend my money on yarn. Okay. So I think my sourdough journey is short-lived. It is over. And so I just need to, I'm not too hung up on about it. Like I did want to try sourdough this year and really get into it, but I'd rather just buy it. Okay. So it's fine by me. So now I have like the Banneton basket and like some other sourdough tools that I just don't need. I might just give them to a friend or donate them or something. But it wasn't for me, and that is okay. I can spend, it's just more time knitting. I think my next project for the year is going to be learning to sew, but I'm going to leave that for summer, possibly. I still need to figure out where I want to learn to sew. I don't have a sewing machine, and there are a couple places in my town that offer classes and supply a sewing machine. And I also believe my library has a sewing machine that I can check out. So I need to look into that and see. I don't know if I want to actually take a course or just learn via YouTube University. So we'll see. What else? We did a bunch of gardening today. We had church the first half of the day. Yeah, that's about it. The weather is actually really nice right now for January, February. It's February now, but typically this time of year we could be in a snowstorm, or it could be really nice, and it's really nice. Super nice this weekend. The sun's been out. Like I said, we were gardening and doing yard work, redoing our flower bed. So it was definitely nice weather. So hopefully it stays around for a little bit, because I would love to get my afternoon walks in. Yeah. I think I didn't say goals for next week. Hold on, let me do my goals. Okay. Goal for my Cumulus Blouse. This is what happens whenever you don't write down notes to follow. I'm just rambling. Cumulus Blouse goals. For this week, I'd like to do a try on and get close to finishing the body. As for my square, I want to finish this. I think it can definitely be done. And then I would like to get maybe the heel flap started on both these socks. I'm not going to put it as an actual goal to finish the heel, but at least start the heel on both socks. I think that should be good. And maybe cast on another project. I don't know if I want to knit like a beanie or something, but I have cast-on-itis right now, and I really just want to cast on all the things. So I'm trying to pace myself. What else? I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about and meant to write down to remember to mention, but we're just going with no notes. I think that's all I've got for right now. So this one's kind of a quick one. I feel like I was talking really fast. That's just what happens whenever you don't plan and make notes for things. Yeah, should we do 3 simple joys? And then we'll close out. Okay, simple joy number 1 is the beautiful weather. Like I mentioned, it was just so nice this weekend. Getting to do yard work. The flower bed looks nice. And it's just nice. I'm not a gardening person. I wish I was. Maybe that'll be a new hobby. I don't have a green thumb. I don't. And so we'll see how long the flower bed lasts like this. Hopefully, like I planted a shrub, some filler stuff, and then a couple of what's the word? Annuals. So we'll see how they do. Again, I'm not a gardening person, but we have to make our flower bed look nice, okay? HOA rules. Yeah, so we'll see how long that lasts. I'm hoping the shrub takes. I hope I dug everything deep enough and like planted everything correctly. So we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, sorry, that was simple joy number 1. Simple joy number 2 has been a local bakery in town. And they have like the most beautiful like artisan pastries and breads. Should I be eating it? No. Like from like the aspect of like I have a gluten sensitivity and I should not be eating it. But have I eaten a croissant? Yes. I have, but they're so good. And I've only been going like once a week for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, but it's nice. I need to try their sourdough because I can digest sourdough a lot better. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be gluten-free for my sensitivity. So I'm going to try some of their sourdough and see. And then simple joy number 3 was casting on a pair of socks. Like it just felt so nice for some reason. I don't know what it was. I think just because I don't know why, but it was just so nice. Like I like them. I like the speckles. I think it's gonna be a really cute sock. Yeah, so that's simple try number 3. It's just that quick cast on of socks and working those up. All right, I'm out of coffee, so I should go and sign off now, because if not, I'm going to start rambling. So that was everything that I worked on this week. I have a feeling stuff is definitely going to be moving along this coming week. Yeah, so I hope you have a good week. Thank you for coming back. If you are a returning subscriber, if not, welcome. I hope you had a good time. I feel like this one was a little chaotic, but that's just life. So until next time, stay caffeinated.